Hey guys, what's going on? This is Aaron Linson with Linson Productions, and I wanted to talk about something that I've thought about and that I've actually found a couple YouTube channels that have talked about this, and that is Apple declining in its usefulness? Is Apple dead? And where can they go from here? Now, back when the 3GS came out and the 4 came out, I was excited. I loved it. And I want to put an accessibility spin on this too, because it does relate to accessibility features as well. So back when those came out, I was excited about it. I was kind of a little bit of a skeptic about it just because I didn't know how it all would work out. I had a Moto Q at the time. I loved it. And it was speech. It drove speech through a third-party software. And the fact that you didn't have to have third-party software, that it was built into the device. You bought the device and that was it. You bought the device and you didn't have to do anything else. You just enabled accessibility and off you went. Was a godsend for a lot of people, including myself, because this allowed for just to purchase the device outright and not have to buy more software. Now, a friend of mine had an Android phone, and it was being able to speak as well through third-party developers and Google themselves. And at the time, it was really nice, and it had a lot of features like speaking out text and replying to text messages within the notification and within the lock screen that iOS at the time didn't have. And this is where I first started seeing discrepancies and wanted something more. Now, the thing with that was just wanting to play with different platforms. Let's look at the mainstream stuff. 4S had the same design. 5S, 5 and 5S had the same design. 6 had a different design. 6S same. 7, 8, 7, 7S, or 7, and then 8, known as the 7S, all had the same design. That is 4 or 5 years of the same design with Apple. With new iterations of the software come new bugs, and new bugs, while introducing new accessibility features, break a lot of things. Sometimes they have put accessibility on the back burner, even though people like myself have sent multiple signs of multiple emails of this is what's happening, this is how it should act, this is what it's doing, here are the steps, step by step, on how this works. No responses. The app update comes out, software update comes out, no fixes. Let's look at the iPhone 8. We have the battery half exploding problem where it's lifting up the display. We had the bend gate with the 6 and 6S. We had antenna gate with the 5 and the 5S. And while the 6S had the headphone jack, the 7 and the 8 and the 10, the 10 don't. This is to my disappointment that Apple is not listening to its customers. There is room for that headphone jack. I don't remember a video I watched, but this guy went to China, had a 7, and was able to put a headphone jack inside of that 7. So, why they removed it for their courage reason is complete BS on my end, because LG, Samsung still have it in their devices. Oh, and they're running Type-C USB, and they're faster than the iPhone. iOS 11 comes out. They break Braille support. They take things away from people who are blind, low vision. And they add certain things in and break other things as well. And again, it's the same story, same cycle of software being broken and not getting updated. And Apple not listening to the customers. Let's look at the Mac line, their computer line. 2015 has all the ports you need. 2016, 2017, no ports. Just one. And then the dongle life, where you have to have all these different adapters. Apple. Computers are getting thinner with legacy ports. I've got a laptop that has everything I need. It's still thin and light. The only reason I would ever use a Mac would be for some audio issues I'm having on the Windows computer that I need to try some software on the laptop and haven't got around to yet. But other than that, I don't see the understanding of it. I can get a Windows computer for twice as much, for the same amount, twice as much, everything in it, and also replace the parts if I build it myself, which is a real draw to me. I can use my phone in any way I want to and not have to worry about what Apple wants me to do with it or how they want me to use it. If there's something I want to change, I can use it. The only thing stopping, well, no, there's nothing stopping Android accessibility from getting into people's hands, except at this moment in time, Braille support. But running Braille back, the newest beta, fixes a lot of those issues, and that is coming out very, very soon. So, is Apple dead? Does Apple need to look in a different direction? Does Apple need to listen to their customers and not just follow trends and make money by taking out a headphone jack and here's AirPods that are $150 and here's Beats wireless headphones that are $150, $200, $250 smackaroos, and just embrace it. Pro users had the Mac Pro with ventilation issues. Apple hasn't updated it. The iMac Pro is the crossover for them, with a high price tag of $5,000. If I had the $5,000, if I needed to buy a computer for that kind of work, whether it be real heavy audio or video editing, I would probably look somewhere else before spending that kind of money, or I might get an iMac with legacy support. Now, I'm not saying that I don't like Apple, because I do. I just think they're heading in the wrong direction for me, because I want to have the choice to do what I want with my device. I'm paying for the device, so I should be able to switch out an email client if it's not working right. I should be able to switch out an internet browser if it's not working right. I should have the option to do what I want to do. So this is just my thoughts on it, and I will see you guys in the next video.